The Indian currency strengthened quite significantly against the dollar today, thanks to sustained dollar selling by banks and exporters, coupled with, of course, overall weakness in the dollar in overseas markets, particularly in Asia. Finally, we saw the rupee shutting shop at a 7-week high, just below the 65 mark to the dollar. The last time we saw those levels was somewhere around August, mid-August, 14th, 15th of August. Now we are joined by Mr. Ashutosh Khajuria, President of Treasury Division at Federal Bank. Mr. Khajuria, thank you so much for taking the time out and for being on this call. What is your sense? The kind of strength that we've seen in the currency today, is that largely on account of the fact that the dollar has been extremely weak ever since the jobs report print, the hope or the expectation that we will not see a US rate hike? So is this largely a global phenomena that's playing out?
Absolutely. It's not rupee's strength, it's dollar's weakness, because it's reflected in commodity prices. We saw even crude going up by about almost 10%. Then we saw, all other commodities, including metal, sugar, everything going up. On the other hand, if you see all Asian currencies east of India, they all appreciated vis-a-vis dollar. It was basically all around dollar's weakness rather than rupee's gain. But then at the same time, we saw very sort of mild intervention happening at around say 65.30 or so. So that could not push rupee to really a higher level. And I don't know how it's going to be, but any move downward for rupee would be good for India's foreign trade, particularly export side and all. I think apart from job data, the trade deficit for US also played its role, which was more than expected. So $48 billion or so. So that also played its role. That means dollar is also, strengthening of dollar is also making US exports uncompetitive.
Sure. Mr. Khajuria, I was just going to come to that. I mean, how you see the RBI observing this current round of strength. We saw, as you mentioned, a little bit of intervention around the 65 mark today. Given the fact that our exports have been so weak, and there's been always talk in the market that the RBI would not want to see the rupee appreciate beyond a certain point, would you think that 65 perhaps would prove to be a bigger resistance?
Yeah, I think so, because already rupee has appreciated vis-a-vis competitor currencies like Malaysian ringgit, Indonesian rupiah, Thai baht, Korean won, Brazilian real, Turkish lira. So all around, if you see, rupee has appreciated against all these currencies. It was only dollar against which it had depreciated a bit. And, now if it starts appreciating vis-a-vis dollar, it's going to be a really big challenge to manage the trade deficit. And it may not work in favor of India's trade and all.
Any levels or a trading band that you're expecting it to be in next few days? I
think there would be an intervention. I feel so if, capital flows keep coming in and you see, punters looking at shorting dollar and all, then I think I really see there would be some strong push from Reserve Bank of India to see that rupee gets its desired level. And desired level means anything from here on. I think the real value, according to me, should be somewhere around 67 rupees or so, and not at the current level.
All right, 67. Thank you, Mr. Khajuria, for that perspective. Well, on that note, let's move on and talk